The rules for telling time are a little bit different in Spanish than they are in English, but if you're careful and pay attention to what you're doing, it's not a difficult thing to learn how to do. In its simplest form, telling time in Spanish is as easy as saying, it is 3 and 12, or it is 2 and 30, and so forth. However, it does get a little bit more complicated than that, but let's start with the simple examples. If we wanted to say, for instance, it is 2:20, we would say son las 2:20. Let's take a look at that for a minute. It is comes from the verb to be, and we see here that we have son, which comes from the verb ser, which means to be. However, in English we say it is, but notice that son is the plural form. That's because two is plural, so they use the plural form. The only exception to this is going to be when they use one as their reference hour. They would say es la una, and so forth. But with anything else it's plural, so we say son las. Here's another example with the same idea. Son las 7:05. And here's an example with 1 o'clock as the reference hour. Es la 1:25. So again, when 1 o'clock is our reference hour, we use the singular es and the singular definite article la. Now things get a little bit more complicated once we get past the half hour. Here we would say that it's 4:40, but we might also say it is 20 till 5, or 20 minutes until 5 o'clock. That's the approach that is traditionally taken in Spanish. So instead of saying son las 4:40, we're going to say son las 5 menos 20, or in other words, it is 5 o'clock minus 20 minutes. This is the approach that's taken any time after the half hour, so in other words, from minute 31 through minute 59. Now there are some variations of this in different places. They may do it in slightly different ways. Also, some people say that with the advent of digital clocks, it's become less common to do this, and you're more likely to just hear it as son las 4:40, and so forth. But again, this is the traditional standard way to tell time in Spanish. Here's another example, 6:50 we would say in English, or we might say 10 till 7. Pause the video and try to figure out for yourself how to say this time in Spanish. I gave you a little hint when I said it's 10 till 7. Did you come up with the right answer? The right answer would be son las 7 menos 10. Here are a few more things to remember. Certain times on the clock kind of have special nicknames. When the minute hand is on the 12, on the 3, on the 6, or on the 9, we're going to use those little nicknames to help us out. When we're exactly on the hour, or in other words, when the minute hand is on the 12, we say en punto. So, for instance, we might say son las 7 en punto. When the minute hand is on the 3, we say y cuarto, which means and a quarter. We do this sometimes in English as well. It's 7 and a quarter. Maybe not, but we might say it's a quarter after 7. In Spanish, that would be son las 7:15. When the minute hand is on the 6, we say y media, which means and a half. In English, we might say it's 6:30, or it's 7:30, or whatever. In Spanish, that would be son las 7:30. And when the minute hand is on the 9, we use cuarto again, but this time we say menos cuarto for minus instead of y cuarto. So in English, we would say it is a quarter till 8. In Spanish, we say son las 8 menos cuarto, which literally would be it is 8 o'clock minus a quarter. So remember, during the first half of every hour, we say it is, and we name the hour, and then we say y, and we name the minutes after the hour. For the second half of each hour, we jump ahead to the next hour. We say it is that next hour minus however many minutes we have left until we get to that hour. We use the phrase son las with everything except for when 1 o'clock is our reference point. So starting with 29 minutes until 1 o'clock and going all the way until 30 minutes after 1 o'clock, we would say es la. Otherwise, we say son las. Here are just a few other important phrases: de la mañana in the morning, de la tarde in the afternoon, and de la noche at night. In most Spanish-speaking countries, the concept of in the afternoon goes a bit later than what we're used to in English-speaking countries, but using these phrases can help you be a bit more specific about telling time.